January 4th, back into the garage. Yesterday, what we did was finish cleaning up and grinding down the welds, the little pinholes that we patched. The rocker panel that I'm currently sitting on is nice and ground flush now. And we cleaned up all of the paint and the quarter panel and kind of prepped it for primer and then body filler. What I didn't realize is that I never welded the inside of the wheel arch here. So we're going to do that today because it is chilly in the garage. The welder will certainly heat this place up. And tomorrow I can stop, get some propane for the heater, get this garage nice and toasty, and we can start doing a little bit of primer and Bondo action. So that's the plan. We're going to get cracking. Hello and welcome back to the garage. It is January 5th now, and I think we're at the point where we can start laying some primer down, finish seam sealing up from the backside, and starting to really prep this body fill, make this a complete quarter panel that looks like it came on the car. Last night we finished up by finish welding the wheel arch here. I filled in some pinholes and ground down the rocker here. And just kind of finish buttoning up and finish all of the welding so that we were ready for primer and Bondo action starting this weekend. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give this one more quick little wipe down with some prep spray. Make sure we're all clean. I'm going to shake the ever-living crap out of our 2K primer. Same thing that we used on the other side. And we're going to let that dry. Throw some seam sealer down and just start doing a couple coats of primer at a time. See how that goes, and we'll work in the Bondo maybe today, probably tomorrow. That's the plan. We're going to execute. Hello and welcome back to the garage. It is January 6th now. Last night, what we did was throw 1 to 2 coats of primer over all areas of exposed metal, anywhere that was ground down or sanded or welded or anything. Any exposed metal was primed with 2K epoxy primer. We filled in all spots that were not going to get body filler with seam sealer. So now this panel is watertight. We also seam sealed everything on the back side here. And the rocker panel is all set. The wheel arch is all set. You can see the gray of the seam sealer, which we will clean up and paint, so don't worry about that. This is also a race car. It's not a show car. If the bumper comes off, it means I hit something. That's not good. So all good. Our goal for today, start laying down body filler over the weld seams on the quarter panel as well as in the door jamb here and a little on the rocker panel. I might throw a tad bit in all of the spot weld holes along the door jamb and just clean that up. But we do have a piece of, I don't want to call it weather stripping, molding that fits over all of this anyway on both sides, just like regular cars, just to clean that edge up a little bit. So that's not even a big deal. So we're going to get cracking. I'm going to throw a coat of body filler in this area, I believe, and we're just going to go from there. Alrighty guys, it is January 26th. It's been a couple days since I've given an update. It has been honestly just a whole bunch of sanding and putting down more primer. A little bit of glazing putty, more sanding, more primer, more sanding until we came up with this nice smooth surface that we have here. We're going to do a final prep, kind of have an area that we're going to blend in masked off here. And a little guard here so I don't get the inside of the car all nasty. When I spray, we're going to spray some gloss white. This is not to get the car all one color or make it look nice. I just want everything to be a single base color, and then we can change it from there. We can wrap it. We can do whatever. So we're going to do some prep spray, clean this up, maybe hit it with a little heat after the prep spray because it's kind of cold outside. We'll get the leg burner over here, fire it up, do a little bit of spraying. Holy smokes, would you look at that? That is insane. This looks crazy already. I'm gonna give this a really light, just whoop, whoop, with this gray Brillo pad, maybe even a white one. Just knock off any little dust particles. Give it a very careful wipe down with the prep spray. And then we're gonna go for another coat, I think. So that's the plan. Hello and welcome back. It has been a few days, maybe a week or two, since we last worked on the car. But, wow. Last time we were down here, we threw down just a couple coats of gloss white top coat in a can. Not to match to the car or as a final paint job, just to try to get everything to tie together, see how it looks, point out any flaws while we still have a chance to edit. It has come out phenomenal. I did sand this one little corner down where there was some stuff that I didn't really like going on in that corner. So that's why that's not glossy like everything else. Everything else hasn't been touched. This is just straight paint. And wow, I can't close the door all the way because I have a piece of cardboard in there, but I am just, well, maybe I can. I'm blown away with how this looks. Unfortunately, we are not down here tonight to work on this particular car, which is a shame. What we are going to do is put the wheels on this thing and put it on the ground, at least for right now, because I need the jack stands to go work on my wife's car in the driveway. So we get to see what this thing looks like as a real wide body car on the ground on all four wheels for the first time, and I will actually put the bumper on as well. So this is going to be a pretty crazy experience and a first for both of us. There we go. Gonna have to lower it a little bit, I guess, but not too bad. That looks so good. Cool.
3 weeks later.
Welcome back to the garage, guys. As you can see, we just took this thing off of the jack stands once again, started it up, drove it out, scooched it over just a little bit to give us some room over here and on the other side. Last time we were working on this, we were actually inside the cabin, redoing the entire rear harness to include the wiring for the rear wheel speed sensors. We still need to do all of the wiring for the front wheel speed sensors, as well as see if we already do have or if we need to run wires for the differential and wire in the power and all of the other diagnostics and controls for the differential controller. So we still need to do all of that. What we're going to do today, since it's actually kind of nice-ish and the garage isn't in the teens Fahrenheit, we're going to warm the garage up once the carbon monoxide kind of clears out, because it's kind of stinky in here right now. Heat the garage up, heat the panels up, and try to spray a little bit more paint down and get this side looking as awesome as the other side looks, because whoa. So that is our plan. That's what we're going to do. I wanted to shoot this video before the sun went down, have a little bit of natural light. We're going to get to rolling. This thing looks incredible. Incredible. I love it. It is the next day. I didn't really bother recording last night. There was just too much going on with the air, and I had my respirator on. I wouldn't have been able to talk to you, and it was a whole thing. So I apologize for the heater noise. I'm trying to heat this panel up right now. What I'm going to be doing is just a light sanding with some 400 grit to knock any crap off of this side. I already kind of took care of a little run that was in this corner. We're just going to be scuffing it up, preparing for another coat. We'll clean it all off, throw another coat down, do the same on the other side if it needs it, and kind of see what this thing looks like all one single color, which is pretty dang cool. Wow, look at that, guys. This side came out phenomenal. Now it's time to hit this with maybe 600 or 800 grit. Smooth it out, get ready for clear. That's just perfect. This side with the heater going, hoping that I can get it entirely cured up. I was a little heavy-handed. There's some runs, especially right here. Oofda. Not great. So we're going to try to sand those out without sanding through, because now I'm out of white paint, so that's not fantastic. At some point as well, I haven't really worried about this area painting quite as much. I am going to, I think, when everything is done, section this area off right here, sand it all out, grind it all out, and re-weld and redo the entire rocker. The whole bottom of the rocker, everything. I just don't really like how that side came out compared to the driver's side. But I mean, you learn and you do it better the second time, right? That's kind of what happened. Not too bad for the first try, I would say. One other thing that I did was clean up the covers for the fuel tank, as well as the kick plate that did cover the ECU and the passenger footwell. And I took the mount for that out of Sheba because I did not have that, painted that one black. See how that looks. I ran out of primer sealer. That's perfectly fine. And this little guy. This is the gas fill door. This came out phenomenal as well, so that'll go on separately. So I think we're going to get the sand in. Almost kicked that unnecessarily. Hello and welcome back to the garage. It has been entirely too long since we last had an update. I started doing Instagram stuff. Hopefully you guys are following me. Probably like at least 6 months before this video comes out, I started doing Instagram stuff, so that's good. We left off with clear coating and finishing up putting clear coat down on the gloss white that we did on the quarter panels. Again, this is not permanent. The whole car is going to get either sanded and then painted, or it's going to get wrapped, or it's going to get dipped or something. This is just so that when it's sitting on the ground and I'm working on it, I'm not annoyed by the color of primer. Having said that, today what we're going to do is see what this is going to look like kind of in its final form. And I know we tried this already once, but now it's actually painted and all set. Both sides too. So we'll remove the masking, put it down. Don't worry about the overspray on the hatch here. I know, I scraped that clean with a razor blade. This is all overspray. That's all right. I don't like this hatch. The hinges are bent. The whole back deck lid here thing is completely smashed in. I didn't realize how messed up this hatch was when I grabbed it from the junkyard. What we're going to do is use Shiba's, which already has the waste spoiler mounted on it, and I really like that. We do have to fix the wing mounting holes on Shiba's hatch, but that's okay. That's not that big of a job. The main thing is the thing is straight and it's going to mount on the car straight and close correct. So without further ado, let's get at it. All right, you guys are just going to tear me apart for this. I know it. I don't even know if it's going to come up on camera. Oh yeah, it totally is. Huge run. Huge run. Super disappointed by that. Other than that, this side looks phenomenal. Barely even have to wet sand it if I was going to keep it that color. This side was about to come out even better, and I was trying to wet remove some of the masking, and I freaking dropped it into the paint. Can you see that? So that's like dirt in the clear coat that I'll have to sand out. Again, whole thing is getting repainted, not a big deal. The thing that probably came out the best, I don't want to, I guess I could touch it. This is a surround piece for the filler neck. I just scuffed it up, cleaned it up, and then gave it a nice clear coat. Looks great. Looks killer. Put that down. And this is the gas door, which also looks absolutely flawless. It's almost a shame that I have to repaint the whole car because that looks great. Anyway, we're going to put all this stuff back together and see what this thing looks like. When we prop you up, we'll start ripping masking tape off. Oh, guys. Oh, guys. Look at that. Wow. This is looking great. I'm pretty pleased. Oh, we have a wide body wagon. Fellas. This is just some dust. Wow. I love it. All right, I think that's where we're going to call it for today. I am hungry. I'm going to go make some dinner. And we'll be back at this thing probably to continue wiring the differential controller. Anyway, thank you for watching as I turn this thing into a wide body wagon. Looks awesome, at least to me. Hopefully we'll see it out on track this year. Thank you.